Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome to the Friday and evening series on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatan Goswami, Sanatana SIKSA. So we are on the chapter 21 and some of the last verses of this chapter where after describing the Aishwarya of the spiritual world and the transcendental qualities of the Lord in the spiritual world, the Trayadesh meaning, general meaning, Madhyam meaning, and the good meaning, and slowly how there is the Ekpad Vibhuti and the Tripad Vibhuti of the Lord. And the Tripad Vibhuti is beyond our comprehension. But within this material world, which is the Ekpad Vibhuti, how Krishna displayed his opulence in one of the Dwarka Leelas, where Brahma was shown all the other Brahmas coming and offering obeisances to Krishna. He thought he's only one Brahma. So this is the opulence of the Lord within the material world. So what to speak about the spiritual world. So then Mahaprabhu now starts giving the Madhurya knowledge, Madhurya Gyan, how ultimately understanding Aishwarya, one should fix his heart on the Madhurya. So Krishna's transcendental form, Krishna's transcendental qualities, Krishna's beauty. So how we should get attracted. So we discussed, if you remember, how Bhaktivinoda Thakur draws this comparison from the Aishwarya to the Madhurya, and how one should fix his heart after understanding the Aishwarya feature of the Lord on the Madhurya feature of the Lord. So we began this last section, last class, Krishna's Madhurya, the sweetness of Lord Krishna's form. So the first part is from 99 to 110, the qualities of Krishna's transcendental form. What are the qualities? So here Mahaprabhu starts speaking about Aishwarya Kahite Prabhu, Krishna Spurita Hoila. So the more one thinks about the Aishwarya feature of the Lord, one is able to remember Krishna. So in the Vibhuti Yoga also, end point, I guess 17, if I remember, Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu chintosmin bhagavan mai. I think, yeah, 10.17 only. Let me check. So how can I, in what different material manifestations of yours, I can always chintosmi. I can always remember you. And then Krishna starts describing the Vibhuti. Yes, Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu chintosmi bhagavan mai. Maya. Maya means by me. Parichintayan. Katam vidyam aham yogims tvam sada parichintayan. Chintayan means to think. Pari means to think all around, always thinking of you. Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu, natures. Chinta asmi, can remember. So the more one always thinks about the opulences of the Lord, slowly, what happens? By remembrance of the Lord continuously, the mind gets purified. And when the mind gets purified and the heart gets purified, then the sweetness of Krishna's transcendental qualities will slowly start manifesting. So Krishna Spurita Hoila Madhurya Majila Mana Eka Shloka Padila. So then he spoke this verse. And we just took a little part of Bhakti Tattva Vivek, how Bhagwan is realized as Madhurya Rosharya, but Madhurya realization is superior. So we discussed this. And this was the verse Mahaprabhu remembers. Yan Martya Leela Upekam Swayogamayam Balam Darshayata Grihitam Vishmapamanmam Swasya Saubagarday Parampadam Bhushanam Bhushanangam. So this was the verse. And then there is a elaborate discussion further explaining this verse. How Krishna has many pastimes on which the Nar Leela is the best. And that Swarup in the Nar Leela is his form. Krishna's form is as a cowherd boy, Gopvesh, with a flute in his hand, and he's Navakishore, he's Natvar, he's Nar Leela. His form is very suitable, and it is just suitable for pastimes. And he starts explaining about this transcendental form of Krishna. And E Rupera Ekakan Dubai Sabatriyuvan. Just this one description can drown the three words, because Krishna means to attract, is all attractive. And this form is Yogamaya Chit Shakti. It is manifested by the internal potency, made of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. The jewel-like form is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. Bhakta Ganar Gudadhan. Prakata Kaila Niti Lila Haite. This form is manifested for Krishna's pastimes. And this form is so great that it attracts even Krishna. Krishnera Haila Chamatkar. Aswadite Mane Uthe Kam. And Krishna wanted to taste that form. So this is the reason also Mahaprabhu came in the mood and Kanti of Srimati Radharani. What is that Srimati Radharani? What she finds so attractive in me and that she relishes? I want to relish that. And Krishna wanted to taste that. This is Shad Aishwarya Purna form. So we discussed up till here. Bhushaner, Bhushananga, Tahen, Lalita Tribhanga, Tahar Upara, Ruhu, Danu, Nartana. Tere Che, Netrante Bana, Tara Dhrida, Sandana, Vindi, Radha Gopi Gana Man. Ornaments caress that body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornaments of the ornaments. Bhushanara Bhushananga. Enhancing the wonderful beauty of Krishna is the three curved style of standing, Tribhanga Lalita. Tribhanga Lalita. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely. Nayana is netranta. Netranta means the end of the eyes. They are like a ban, acting like arrows, pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani. Radha Gopigana Vinde. When the arrows succeed in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. So the whole description of Krishna's transcendental beauty, attractive, sweet form is being described by Mahaprabhu. So let's today now go to text 106. Brahmando pare paravyam tahanye swarupgan tan sabar bhale hare man pativrata shiromani yanra kahe vedavani akarshe se Lakshmi gan. The beauty of Krishna's body, is so attractive that it attracts not only the demigods and the other living entities within this material world, but the personalities of the spiritual sky as well, including the Narayans, who are expansion of Krishna's name. Brahmande upari paroyam tahan hei swarupgan. Tahar sabara bale hareman. Not only within this Brahman that the demigods, their wives, and all the devtas in the 14 planet systems, their minds are attracted to Krishna. Even the personalities who are beyond this Brahman, that is in the Vaikuntha Lok, the Narayan, they are also attracted to this beauty. The minds of Narayans are thus attracted to the beauty of Lord Krishna's body. In addition, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi's Pativrata Shiromani, who are the wives of Narayans and are the women described in the Vedas as the most chaste. Yandra Kahe Vedavani. The Vedas say that they are Pativrata, they are most chaste, are also attracted by the wonderful beauty of Krishna. Akarshe say Lakshmigan. So there are many examples to prove in the Shastra that how even the Narayan or Vishnu is attracted to Krishna. So any examples from the Bhagavatam anyone knows where there is mention, any pastime, that how even Vishnu or even Narayan is attracted to Krishna? Okay. Yes, Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रभु जी. एक्चुअली जब ब्राह्मण के लड़के की हत्या मतलब लेके जा रहे थे उनको, ब्राह्मण की लड़के की बार बार हत्या हो रही थी, तब वो तब कृष्ण तब मतलब उनको महाविष्णु लेके जा रहे थे, तो कृष्ण और अर्जुन उनको लाने गए जब, तो वो बोले कि हाँ, मतलब उनकी दर्शन की इच्छा थी कृष्ण भगवान की, इसलिए उन्होंने ब्राह्मण के लड़के को चुरा लिया था. आई थिंक कुछ 22-24 लड़के हो गए थे, बाद में वो गए ऐसे कुछ.
Yes. There is a pastime how in Dwarka, the son of the Brahmana died and he said, I am pure. Maybe there is some sin, you must have committed some sin. So Krishna along with Arjuna went. Mahavishnu had stolen the son of the Brahmana because Mahavishnu wanted to have darshan of Krishna and Arjuna. So even Mahavishnu is attracted to Krishna. That is the beauty of Krishna. So like that, there are many pastimes. One second, yeah. Chadi gopi manorate manmathara manamathe namadhare madan mohan jini panchasharadarpa swayam nav kandarpa rasa karelan gopigan. Favoring the gopis, Krishna rides on the chariots of the minds. And just to receive loving service from them, he attracts their minds like Cupid. Therefore, he is called as Madan Mohan. Chade Gopi Manoratha. Manera Rath. So Krishna rides on the chariots of their mind. So Krishna is there on their mind. So we are riding on the chariot of the mind, where who is sitting? Kam, Krodh, Moh, Mada, Matsare. And we are riding, it is pulling us, the mind is pulling us, this sense object, that sense object. Manarata. So Prahlad Maharaj also in that verse famous, Yasyasti Bhagavati Bhakti Akinchana Sarves Tatra Samasate Sura Harava Abhaktasya Kuto Mahat Guna Sama Manoratena Dhavati Asato Bhayi. Manorathena, they are riding on the chariot of the mind. Dhavato, and they're running. Bhayi. Bhayi means external. They are attracted to the external sense objects. So we have to ride on the mind, but we want to keep Krishna as your chariot driver and ride, or Maya. Choice is ours. So the more we fix our mind on Krishna, then Krishna takes control over everything. Man mathera mana mathe. And he receives the loving service. He attracts the mind like Cupid, attracts their minds like Cupid. Man matera mane mate. And that's why he holds the name Madan Mohan. And the attractive Cupid has 5 arrows. Jini Pancha Sara Darpa, representing form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. Krishna is the owner of these 5 arrows. Swayam Navakandarpa. And with his Cupid-like beauty, Navakandarva. Nava means new, the new Cupid-like beauty. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Govindamadi Purusham Tamham. He conquers the minds of the gopis, though they are very proud of their super excellent beauty. Becoming a new Cupid, Krishna attracts their minds and engages in the rasa dance. Rasa kare lan gopi gan. Quite elaborate explanation also Prabhupada gives in his translation. So there are no purports to any of these verses. These are all, in fact, they come in the Kavya category of Rachana. And Kavita, you have to have taste in poetry. Kavya Shastra, we are not studied Kavya Shastra, and we don't know the various, alankars. Alankars are various ornaments used in describing in poetry. Poetry, there is, Alankar Shastra. And we are not so much accustomed. That's why we cannot much relish. Just read the translation. That's it. But just like Bharatnatyam, one who knows the different mudras and the different emotions which are expressed to them through their movements of the eyes to the eyebrows, different bhavanas are expressed, different emotions are expressed, and there is a different altogether language being spoken there. And those who are sitting and seeing the Bharatanatyam, if they don't have the knowledge of Natya Shastra, they cannot really show what's happening there. It's boring, you'll say. So similarly, these are all Kavya compositions. And one of the qualities is not that you should be a studied in Kavya Shastra expert. Ultimately, you have to have developed a pure heart, and with that pure heart, you can relish this pure poetry of Krishna's description of his beauty. Nija sama saka sanga ko gana charana range vrindavane swachanda vihara yandra venu dhvani shune stavar jangama prani pulaka kampa ashru vahedhar. When Lord Krishna wanders in the forest of Vrindavan with his friends on an equal level, Nija Sama Saka Sange. There are innumerable cows grazing, Go Gana Charana Range. This is another of Lord's blissful enjoyments. Vrindavane Swachhanda Vihar. And while he is doing this, the Gocharan Leela, what does he do? When he plays on his flute, Yandra Venu Dhwani Shune, all living entities, including trees, plants, animals, and human beings, Stavar, Jangam, Prani, tremble and are saturated with jubilation. Pulaka Kampa Ashu Vahedhar. Tears flow constantly from their eyes. So this is the effect of Krishna's flute. Muktahar Bhaka Panti Indradanu Pincha Tati Hitambara Vijuri Sanchara Krishna Navajaladhar Jagata Shasha Upara Varishaye Lilamrita Dhara. Krishna wears a pure pearl necklace that appears like a chain of white herons around his neck. Muktahara Ake Bhaka Panti. The peacock feather in his hair appears like a rainbow, and his yellow garments appear like lightning in the sky. Pitambara Vijuri Sanchar. Indradhanu Pitcha Tati. Pitcha means, Pitcha is the peacock feather, and Indradhanu is the rainbow. Pitambara Vijuri Sanchar. And his yellow garments appear like lightning in the sky. So anyone knows when there is a festival in Vrindavan, when there is a festival in Vrindavan, anyone knows when there is a festival in Vrindavan? We know the famous festivals we celebrate: Janmashtami, Radhashtami, the Nauka Vihar festival, and the Julan Yatra festival. All these festivals bring a lot of joy and happiness. But in Vrindavan, at what moment and when the festivals are celebrated? Okay, Parth Sarthi has raised his hand. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Holi?
Holi is one festival. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Our whole conception of festival is going to change after we answer this, but we would like to hear other devotees also. Yes, Govinda Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When Krishna does some wonderful activities, to glorify that activity, there will be festival.
Excellent. So every day there is one or the other wonderful activity Krishna does, killing some demon. And moment all the gopas see this, they come and narrate to the gopis, their mothers, and the gopis compose in the local folk songs, and they sing in entire Braj, and all the pastimes spread. Yes, this is also true. Any other realizations, any other thoughts on this? When there is a festival, when Krishna is performing pastimes in Baum Leela and the eternal spiritual world also, but anyone else? Any other thoughts? So here something reflected, like, Krishna wears a yellow garment, appears like lightning in the sky. So when Krishna is coming from the Gocharan Leela and he's wearing this beautiful yellow garment, and moment this garment little lifts up in the air because of the flow of the air, this puts the gopis, the elderly gopis and the gopis in ecstasy. And this becomes itself a festival. So we might think, all these pastimes of Krishna killing the demons, that is the time, there is a festival. Every act, every small little detail, what happens with anything to do with Krishna. The Pitambar is the garment which Krishna is wearing. It is, it becomes an uddipan. It becomes an uddipan for the gopis, for the gopas. And just that garment, if little flies in the air, and that becomes a huge festival to be celebrated by the Brajvasis. So this is the nature of love. Srila Prabhupada, you know, was such a transcendental personality, and the devotees, if you can hear personally the accounts of the initial devotees who joined, who very intimately served Prabhupada in New York, the initial beginning days, 1966, 67, 68 and all. So they were so much in love with Prabhupada that any small act what Prabhupada is to do, the devotees would really fall in love with Prabhupada, and they were so dedicated to Prabhupada that they were ready to do anything for his mission. So you can see that in Prabhupada disciples, the dedication and commitment. So when there is a festival, I was mentioning, just like when Krishna's yellow garment, little in the, because of the movement of the air, it flies, and it's a utsav. It's a utsav in Vrindavan. So Prabhupada once was sitting on his desk, and he took his finger, put it in the nose, and whatever was there in the nose, that came out, and he just threw it. And the disciple who was watching, he was in ecstasy seeing. So anything Prabhupada did, any act he did, was so captivating for Prabhupada disciples, and they saw it as a completely different activity. The way Prabhupada took the glass and drank it, so his activities were like that. So similarly, Nitya Utsav, when is the Utsav in Vrindavan? Nitya it is going on. Every small act what Krishna does, it's a Utsav in Vrindavan. So Govinda Prabhu's answer was a little close, but we have to understand that there is a deeper reasoning also. Madhurya Bhagavata Sar Vraje Kaila Parachar Taha Shuka Vyasera Nandan Stane Stane Bhagavate Varniyache Janete Taha Shuni Mate Bhaktagan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is full in all six opulences, including his attractive beauty. Madhurya Bhagavata Sar. So, the essence of Bhagavat, Bhagavan, is his beauty, which engages in conjugal love with the gopis. Vraja Kaila Parachar. Such sweetness is the quintessence of his qualities. Sukadev Goswami, Taha Shuk Vyasaranandan, Vyasaranandan, son of Vyas, the son of Vyasadev, has described these pastimes Krishna throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. Stane Stane Bhagavate, Varniyache Janate. Hearing the descriptions, Taha Shune, the devotees become mad with love of Godhead. Mate Bhaktagan. Mat hona hai humko. We have to become mad after Krishna. Material people are mad after sense gratification. And we have to become mad after Krishna. That's the goal of life. Mad we are, either for sense gratification or for Krishna. That we cannot, there is no choice. We have to come mad either for Krishna or for Maya. So, Mate Bhaktigan. Okay, now, same Krishna's Madhurya, sweetness. This section from 111 to 124 describes the various aspects of Krishna's form. So Krishna's form in general was described. Now, within that form, the various aspects are mentioned. Kahite Krishnera Rase, Shloka Pade Prema Vashe, Preme Sanatana Hatha Dhari, Gopi Bhagya Krishna Guna, Karila Varnana, Bhava Veshe Mathura Nagari. Just as the woman of Mathura Nagari, ecstatically described the fortune of the gopis of Vrindavan. Gopi Bhagya. And they were describing this. Ye Karila Varnan. And the transcendental qualities of Krishna. Sri Sanatana Goswami described the different mellows of Krishna. Kahite Krishnera Ras, and became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. So Mahaprabhu himself became overwhelmed with Shloka Padite Prema Veshe. Preme, in that Prema Vesh, he grasped the hand of Sanatana Goswami. Old man with grasping the hand of Sanatana Goswami, he recited the following verse. He recited one verse. So anyone knows which is that verse? Any hint? There is a hint given in this particular verse. There is a hint given, but anyone knows the verse or which chapter it is at least, or gives some hint where this is being described, which verse Mahaprabhu is going to quote. Anyone? Any thoughts on that? Okay, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dhanvatna. Oh, it is 10:44:14 verse.
Oh, you are looking at the book and saying what?
Yes, Prabhu. In book.
Oh, okay. Fine. You are looking at the book, so I wanted some hint without looking at the book. Okay, this verse Mahaprabhu quotes. Gopyas tapakim acharan yad amusharupam lavanyasaram asamurdvam ananya siddham drigbih pibantya anusavabhinavam durapam ekantadama yashasa shriya aishwarasya. What austerities must the gopis have performed? Gopyas tapakim acharan. With their eyes, they always drink the nectar of the form of Lord Krishna. Yad amushya rupam lavanya sara asamurdvam ananyas, which is the essence of loveliness. So in Sanskrit, beauty is called as lavanya. It is lavanya saram. This is the essence of loveliness. And it is not equaled or surpassed. Asamurdvam. That form is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. Yasha Shriya Aishwaryam. It is self-perfect, ever fresh and unique. Ekanta Dham Anusavabhinavam Durapam. Dribbi Pibanti. They are drinking this form. So this is 10:44:41, spoken by the women of Mathura when they saw Krishna in the wrestling arena. Is there any other reference of any others, speaking about the fortune of the gopis? Any other verses glorifying the fortune of the gopis who are relishing the beauty of Krishna? Yes, Govinda Prabhuji?
This is, I don't know exactly, but Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gopa Vrajakrisam Yan Mitra Paramananda Purna Brahma Sanatana.
Yes, this Sukdev Goswami is speaking about the fortune of the Gopas who are relishing the association of Krishna, but especially the conjugal form. Bhishma in his prayers glorifies about the gopis, there it is there. So there are many other places also like that. So this is one specific which Mahaprabhu quotes. Now more further description of that transcendental form. Tarunyamrita Paravar Tarangalavanyasara Tate se Avarta Avudgamaha Vamshi Dwani Chakravata Narira Manatrinapata Taha Dubai na hai udgama. The bodily beauty of Sri Krishna is like a wave in the ocean of eternal youth. Tarunya Amrit Paravara, Taranga Lavanya Sara. In that great ocean is the whirlpool of awakening of ecstatic love. Tate se avarta bhavodgama. So I was mentioning that the Kavya Shastras, there are various ornaments used. So the beauty of youth of Krishna is like the ocean of eternal youth. The bodily beauty is compared to the ocean of eternal youth. And in the ocean, there are whirlpools. So this whirlpool is compared to the awakening of ecstatic love. So like that. The vibration of Krishna's flute is like a whirlwind. Vamsi, Dwani, Chakravata. And the flickering minds of the gopis are like straws and dry leaves. Naharira mana trinapata. So there is a different comparisons done. So the minds of the gopis are compared to all these uh, straws and dry leaves. So the whirlpool is that it will pull all these things. So Krishna, when he plays the flute, it will pull all the minds of the gopis. After they fall down in the whirlpool, they never rise again, but remain eternally at the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is the difference between the ordinary whirlpool and the whirlpool created by Krishna's beauty. Saki he kona tapa kaila gopi gana Krishna rupa sumaduri pibe pibe netra bhari slagya kare janma tanu mana. Oh my dear friend, hey Sake, what severe austerities have the gopis performed to drink his transcendental beauty and sweetness through their eyes in complete fulfillment. Thus they glorify their births, bodies, and minds. Slagya kare. Slag means to glorify. Janma tanu mane. Krishna rupa sumaduri pibe pibe nitre bhari. They're drinking it completely. E madurira urdva an nahi yara saman parav me swarupera gane. Eno sabhavatari paravyoma adhikari ei madhurya nahi narayane. The sweetness of Krishna's beauty enjoyed by the gopis is unparalleled. Nahi saman. Nothing is equal to or greater than such ecstatic sweetness. Even the predominating deities of the Vaikuntha planets, the Narayans, do not possess such sweetness. Indeed, none of the incarnations of Krishna up to Narayan possess such transcendental beauty. So Krishna has these wonderful qualities which are not even there in Narayan. That is his quality of his Rupa Madhurya. So the Rupa Madhurya is being described here by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is the famous pastime in the Brahat Bhagavatamrit of how Gokumar was there in Govardhan, and by the mercy of a sadhu who recited the Gopal mantra in his ears, he was an ordinary cowherd boy and he got attracted to Gopal. And from here, he first went to Swarglok, Indra, where Indra was worshipping Vaman Dev. Although he's attracted to Vaman Dev, Indra's opulence, he got the post. Indra was out of the post, but still his heart was attracted to Gopal. And then he went to Janalok, Tapalok, Maharlok, and then ultimately Brahma's Lok. He also held the Brahma's position, and Sahasrita Purusha worship was Brahma was doing, but still his heart was attracted to Vrindavan Krishna. Ultimately, from there he went to the Mahakal Lok, that is where, which is the Viraja, Brahmajyoti. And there he had darshan of Shiva, and Shiva directed them to the Vishnu Dutas. From there he went to Vaikuntha Lok. So in the Vaikuntha Lok, when he came, he immediately saw Narayan. And seeing Narayan, he just started running towards Narayan. Narayan! And all the Vaikuntvasis were astonished. What is this? What is happening? And Narayan could understand the mood of Gokumar. He could understand his mood. So he did not forbid. So he came running, and immediately in front of Narayan, he collapsed. So, and the servants also were happy, oh, you cannot go so close to Narayan, we have to worship with awe and reverence to Narayan, just by reciting Vedic hymns. So ultimately, Gopkumar met Narayan, Narayan caressed him, and then brought him, regained back him into consciousness. And then all the eternal associates like Garuda, uh, Sunanda, Nanda, all these eternal associates were glorifying Narayan with Vedic hymns. At the same time, Lakshmi came, and then all started moving out. And Gopkumar was attracted, and he wanted to be there. But the other associates were telling me, let's move, let's go out. Oh, why? What is the reason? I want to stay back. No, you have to go. We have to go now. Because Lakshmi wanted to serve Narayan Prasad, and it was an etiquette that they should leave. But this doesn't happen in Krishna Leela. Krishna and his friends all sit together and have prasadam. So Gopkumar was not so happy, although he was with Narayan in the Vaikuntha world. And then the next day he saw how all the associates, like they were fanning Narayan and reciting Vedic hymns with awe and reverence. So there was this no much intimacy. And one day Gopkumar got a chance to fan Narayan, and he was fanning Narayan and he was narrating Narayan Krishna Leela. And Narayan was relishing it. And then he was playing the flute also for Narayan's pleasure. So although Narayan understood and Narayan himself was relishing it, so the Vaikuntha Vasis, when they saw this, they called Gopkumar by the side and said, you cannot do all this here. No, you have to maintain distance. And here you have to only recite the standard Vedic prayers like the Purusha Shukta and the Vedic hymns. So there is a debate there, they establish how Narayan is superior to Krishna. So even in the Vaikuntha, there is a conception, that understanding that the Vaikuntha Vasis think that Narayan is superior to Krishna. So we should not disturb, even on earth, if somebody thinks like that, that Narayan is superior to Krishna. We should allow them to have that understanding and not disturb that understanding, especially in South India. So just to give you an understanding that even the predominating deities of the Vaikuntha planet, they don't possess this sweetness. Even Narayan is attracted to the sweetness of Krishna. Tate Sakshi Se Rama Narayanara Priyatama Pavit Pativrata Ganera Upasya Tinho He Madhurya Lobe Chadi Sab Kama Bhoge Vrata Kari Karela Tapasya. The vivid evidence. What is the evidence that Krishna has wonderful qualities which even Narayan doesn't have? The evidence is, the vivid evidence in this regard is that the dearest consort of Narayan, Narayanara Priyatama, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all chaste women, Pativrata Ganera Upasya, gave up everything in her desire to enjoy Krishna. Chadi Sabha Kama Bhog, being captivated by his unparalleled sweetness. Teno e Madhurya Lob. Thus she took a great vow and underwent severe Vrat Karila Vat Kare Karila Tapasya. Seite Sahi Seite Madhurya Sar Anya Siddhi Nahitar Teno Madhuryadi Gun Khani Ar Sab Prakashe Tanra Datta Gun Bhashe Yahanyat Prakashe Karya Jani. The quintessence of Krishna's sweet bodily luster is so perfect that there is no perfection above it. Anya Siddha Nahitar. Seite Madhurya Sar. It is the quintessence of sweetness. And Anya Siddha Nahitar. He is immutable mind of all transcendental qualities. Madhuryadi Guna Khani. Khani means, he's like a wine of all wonderful Madhurya qualities. In his other manifestations and personal exertions, there is only a partial exhibition of such qualities. Arasa prakashe tandra datta guna bhase. Bhase means there is only a bhash of it that is there, not the full. We understand all his personal expansions in this way. Yahan yata prakashe karya jani. Any questions, you can always raise your hand. Huh? We're just going through these verses. Text 118. Gopi bhava darapana nava nava shaneshana tara age krishnera madhurya Teno kare huda hudi bade mukha nahi mudi nava nava dohara prachurya. Both the gopis and Krishna engage in competition. So what is the word used here for competition? Anyone knows? What is the word used here for competition? You can try. What is the word used for competition? Govinda Prabhuji, yes.
Huda hudi.
Huda hudi. Huda hudi. Struggling together. Prabhupada translates it as struggling together. Huda hudi. Both gopis and Krishna engage in competition. Huda hudi. The gopis' ecstatic love is like a mirror that becomes newer and newer at every moment and reflects Krishna's bodily luster and sweetness. Gopi bhava darapana. Nava nava shane shane. Thus, their competition increases. Since neither give up, their pastimes become newer and newer. Nava nava dohara prachurya. And both sides constantly increase. So there is a famous description by Kaviraj Goswami somewhere here in, I don't know, Madhilila or Antilila, where the gopis, they dress very beautifully, not because they want to look beautiful, which everyone in the material world does that, but so that Krishna can relish. So they, dress, and then when Krishna comes from the Gocharan Leela, and when Krishna sees the gopis feel a lot of happiness because it is giving happiness to Krishna. And seeing that the gopis are happy gives Krishna happiness, and Krishna becomes more happy. And now seeing the gopis seeing that Krishna is happy, the gopis become more happy. And now seeing that the gopis have become happy, Krishna becomes more happy. And now gopis seeing that Krishna is more happy, they become more happy. So like that, the Ananda keeps on increasing. So both the sides constantly increase. So this is Gopi Bhava Darpan. Gopi Bhava Darpan. So this, discussion, although we are having, but we cannot have entrance into these, real esoteric subjects. For us, the most important is our bhajan darpan. Bhajan ka darpan kaisa hai hamara. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a commentary called as the Bhajan Darpan. So the Manashiksha commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is called as Bhajan Darpan. Are we free from the 6 enemies lust? Are we free from duplicity, kutinati? And are we free from pratishta asha? So that purification, we have to work on our bhajan dharpan. That's why Mahaprabhu has said the first thing is Chaito Darpana Marjanam. So this is more important for us. This is more important for us to discuss. And sometime if this description comes, it is good to hear, especially from very exalted spiritual masters. So to give a idea of what is this prayojan. So it is very lofty goal, and we are in kindergarten school battling with our anarthas. So we have to work on our bhajan darpan. Then we can understand all this gopi bhav darpan. Karma tapa yoga jnana vidhi bhakti japa dhyana iha hai te madhurya durlabha kevala e raga marge bhaje krishne anurage tare krishna madhurya sulabha. The transcendental mellow generated from the dealings between the gopis and Krishna cannot be tasted by means of fruitive activity, karma, yogic austerities, tapa, speculative knowledge, yoga, jnana, regulated devotional service, vidhi bhakti. Please mark this. As long as we are in the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, we cannot relish these transcendental rasas. I don't know, somehow I felt that I should speak about this bhajan darpan here. And next verse is speaking about it. You can see here. Mantra yoga, japa, or meditation, dhyan. The sweetness can be tasted only through spontaneous love of liberated persons. Please mark this. Who chant the holy names with great ecstatic love. Kevala a raga marge bhaje Krishna anurage. They have deep anurag for Krishna. Only for them Krishna madhurya sulabha. So now my question is, at what stage in our devotion we can relish what Mahaprabhu is describing, these wonderful transcendental qualities of Krishna? At what stage? Anyone? One has is raised. I would like to hear from others. Tirthpad Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Maybe Anarth Nivrutti, after Anarth Nivrutti.
After Anarth Nivrutti is what stage?
Asakti.
After Anarth Nivrutti is Asakti?
No.
You can start from first. Which is first?
Ado Shraddha.
Shraddha.
Then
Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha. Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha.
Then
Bhajan Kriya.
Bhajan Kriya.
Anarth Nivrutti.
Anarth Nivrutti.
Then
Nishtha.
Nishtha. Nishtha
Ruchi.
stage.
Ruchi.
Yes.
Ruchi. Ruchi.
Yes. Nishtha, Ruchi.
Then after Ruchi is
Asakti.
Asakti. Bhava and then
Prem.
Prem. So at which stage you feel?
Ruchi.
At Ruchi. Okay. Yes, Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Nishtha.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Govinda Prabhuji.
At this stage of bhava.
At the stage of bhava, very clearly it is mentioned vidhi bhakti, regulated devotional service. So raga bhakti, raganuga sadhana it is. It is sadhana still, sadhana stage. Although there is some, lobe there, and purification is very fast, and we have crossed Anarth Nishtha. So the raganuga sadhana means we are following in the footsteps of the ragatmika bhaktas, the eternal associates. So we have rag towards them. And following that, when we attain perfection by raganuga sadhana, at the stage of bhava, then our spontaneous attraction towards Krishna is awakened. And we should remember that at the stage of bhava, we become liberated. Spontaneous love of liberated persons means At the stage of bhava, we are liberated. So then, at the stage of bhava, our rasa with Krishna and reciprocation of rasa with Krishna directly happens. So, and the chanting, we are chanting, we have nam ras. Of course, when Raganuga Sadhana, we have chanting, we are at the Madhyamadhikari platform, and we have taste for chanting, but still, it cannot be compared to chanting of a Bhava Bhakta, who has fully situated in rasa with Krishna. So the material connection is completely cut off at the stage of bhava. So at Nishtha, it is 50%, Ruchi, maybe 60, 70, Asakti, it is 80. But at bhava, it is around somewhere 95 or 99. So that's when we can relish this. Even by Vaidhi sadhana, we cannot. That's the point being made here. Sai Rupa Vrajashraya Aishwarya Madhuramaya Divya Guna Gana Ratnalaya Anera Vaibhava Satta Krishna Datta Bhagavata Krishna Sarva Amshi Sarvashraya. Such ecstatic transactions between Krishna and the gopis are possible only in Vrindavan, which is full of opulences of transcendental love. The form of Krishna is the original source of all transcendental qualities. Divya Guna Gana Ratnalaya. It is like a mine of gems. Ratnalaya. The opulences belonging to all his personal expansions of Krishna are to be understood to be bestowed by Krishna. Anera Vaibhav Satta Krishna Datta Bhagavata. Therefore, Krishna is the original source and the shelter of everyone. Krishna Sarvamshi Sarvashraya. Shri Lajja Daya Kirti Dhairya Vaishardi Mati Aisab Krishna Pratishta Sushila Mrudu Vadanya Krishna Sami Samanahi Anya Krishna Kare Jagatera Hita. Beauty, Shri, humility, Daya, no, Lajja, I think. Mercy is Daya, merit, Kirti, Dhairya, patience, and Vaisharadi Mati, expert intelligence are all manifested in Krishna. Aisabha Krishna Pratishta. But besides this, Krishna has other qualities like good behavior, Shushila, mildness, Mrudu, magnanimity, Vadanya, Namo Maha Vadanya is them. He also performs welfare activities for the whole world. Krishna Kare Jagatera Hita. All these qualities are not visible in expansions like Narayan. Krishna Sama Nahi Anya. Prabhupada gives the purport here. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions that the qualities of beauty, humility, mercy, merit, patience, and expert intelligence are brilliant qualities. And when they are exhibited in the person of Narayan, one should know that they are bestowed upon Narayan by Krishna. So that's the point which is being also made in the purport. Good behavior, mildness, and magnanimity are found only in Krishna. Only Krishna performs welfare activities for the whole world. Okay. We will just finish this section today. Yeah, section we will finish. Krishna deki nana jana kaile nimeshe nidhana vraje vidhi ninde gopi gana ei sab shloka padi Mahaprabhu artha kari suke madhurya kare aswadhana. After seeing Krishna, various people criticize the blinking of their eyes. In Vrindavan, especially, all the gopis criticize Lord Brahma because of this defect in the eyes. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and explained them vividly, thus enjoying the taste of transcendental sweetness with great happiness. Mahaprabhu arth kare, sukha madhurya kare aswadan. So there is one question. Yes, Parth Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What may I know what welfare activities does Krishna do? Like
What welfare activities? The highest welfare activity is that one should become Krishna conscious and go back to the spiritual world. So, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkatam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The highest dharma. Dharma projito kaitavo paramo nirmatsaranam. So this is the highest dharma which only Krishna can do. Nobody else can, give that highest thing what Krishna can give. So other incarnations, it is said that when Lord Ram killed Ravana, although he was killed by the Lord, in the next incarnation he came again. I think first there were 3 births taken by Jay and Vijay. One was first was Narsimdev, who killed Hiranyakashipu, and Vara, who killed Hiranyaksha. So then they came as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And then there was Shishupal and Dantavakra. So Shishupal, so when Krishna killed, but they got the highest benediction. So like that, Krishna's form only can give us highest benediction. That is the point being made. So he recited some verses. So these are the verses he recites from the Bhagavatam. Yasyananam makarakundala charu karna Rajat kapola subhagam savilasya hasyam nityutsavam na tatrupar trishibir vibantyoha naryo narascha mudita kupita nimeshcha. All men and women were accustomed to enjoying the beauty of the shining face of Lord Krishna, as well as his shark-shaped earrings swinging on his ears, his beautiful features, his cheeks, and his playful smiles all combined to form a constant festival for the eyes. Nityutsavam. So this was a point I was also making, that there is a continuous festival going on in Vrindavan. And the blinking of the eyes became obstacles that impeded one from seeing that beauty. For this reason, men and women became very angry at the Creator. This is a very beautiful verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam Mahaprabhu quotes. Then there is one more famous verse from the Ras Panchadhyay, especially from the Gopi Geet. Anyone knows which verse that is? Anyone knows? Without seeing the book, you should guess. So I'll not ask Birendra Yadav Prabhuji, because he is a very studious student. He sits with the book while attending class, which is a good sign of a student. The student should come with the book to the class always. Anyone else can guess which verse from the Gopi Geet Mahaprabhu recites? Anyone can try? Guess. Try a wild guess also. It's okay. Govinda Prabhuji, which verse?
No idea.
So this is a very famous verse from the Gopi Geet. Atati yad bhavan hanikananam trutir yugayate vama pasyatam kutil kuntalam shrimukam chate jada udikshatam pakshmakrit Krishna. O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day and we do not see your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curly hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us. And we consider the Creator who has put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you to be simply a fool. So these are the two verses Mahaprabhu quotes. This is spoken by the gopis in the Gopi Geet. So now Krishna's Madhurya, the sweetness of Lord Krishna's form, Krishna's beauty is compared to the Kama Gayatri. This is a very interesting explanation. So now, till now, we have seen the first comparison. First was the description of the quality of Krishna's forms, which we went through. And then there was further description of various aspects of Krishna's sweet form. Now, Krishna's beauty will be compared to the Kama Gayatri. So this will be the last part of our discussion. And tomorrow we will discuss and conclude this chapter. Thank you very much. Any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavat. Prabhu, just I am thinking if gopis, they were so close to Krishna, how could they survive after Krishna left Vrindavan?
There are, we cannot fathom actually Krishna's pastimes. There are various reasons. One is, I'm just going by what my thought process is saying and what I have heard from the commentaries of various acharyas. So the one reason is that Krishna, before leaving, he said that he will come, that promise. So the gopis were just surviving, although they were living dead out of separation, and that's why they were still maintaining their life affair, especially Srimati Radharani. So because Krishna had promised that he'll come back. And the other reason they were surviving by the Yogamaya, pastimes, to show Krishna wanted to exhibit to the world what is real love. And the highest exhibition of that is the Vrajvasis who have love for Krishna, and especially the gopis. And to demonstrate that, Krishna's dear friend Uddhava went. Actually, he went as a messenger. He wanted to pacify them, but he got transformed, seeing the gopis' love for Krishna. So, and that's why, that is the second reason. And Krishna never left in one sense Vrindavan. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavanam padam na gacchanti, something, I don't recollect that verse. Krishna never takes a step out of Vrindavan. So by being not in their sight, but he entered their hearts. So they were, they are, they experienced a deeper union in separation, which is called as Vipralamba. So this highest form of love, which is called as Vipralamba, love in separation, is manifested in the pinnacle in the gopis' love for Krishna. So in order to exhibit that also, and to preach that, Mahaprabhu came. So that's why there are all these reasons how they still survived. There is another confidential reason which I thought I'll just share. This is there in Jiva Goswami's commentary on the 10th canto, that Uddhava only went to pacify Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda and the gopis. But why did Krishna not send Uddhava to pacify the Gopas and other elderly Gopas and Gopis. What is the reason? Only Nand Maharaj, Yashoda and the Gopis? What is the reason? And not others? So Jeev Goswami explains that although Krishna left Vrindavan, the Gopas, Krishna's friends, the elderly Gopas and the elderly Gopis, because Krishna stayed in their heart, their spurti of Krishna was there always. And because that spurti was there, they thought Krishna is there with us. So they never felt such pangs of separation from Krishna. There was, but the spurti was there. That's what Jiva Goswami explains. But the love of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj was so deep, that they were feeling the separation from Krishna, and they were crying day in and day out. And the same was with the Gopis' love. So that is why Uddhav came to specially pacify Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and the Gopis. So when the love is so deep that even when the lover is present in front and you feel separation, then that love is called as Prema Vaichitya. That is the love of the Gopis. It's a very exalted platform. So this is only possessed by very exalted, associates of the Lord, like the Gopis, who have Mahabhav. So this kind of exhibition of this highest ecstatic emotions was exhibited in Krishna's pastimes, and Mahaprabhu has come to give us that. So this is the reasons. These are few of the reasons why, how they could still sustain. Is it okay, Prabhuji?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions, clarifications? Okay, so we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri